We are seeing something truly unusual in American politics unfold right before our eyes. Not just the pace of the Trump administration, or perhaps the full realization that we apparently didn't actually have a president for the last few years. No, what we're seeing is a president who is both at the height of his political capital, who is also unencumbered by the shadow of re-election. There's a freedom in that the president is exploiting for the benefit of the nation. You see, usually presidents in their second term careen into lame duck status. The party very quickly starts looking beyond the presidency to the next election as second term approval ratings tend to dip. Not with the 47th president, not with the second term of Donald Trump. Trump not only understands the bully pulpit, but he is masterful at using it. And he also doesn't care if people criticize him over something he said or some out-of-the-box idea, if it means that ultimately his goals for the nation are met. Think about how rare that is in American politics. People so reflexively opposed to him still don't get it. They still don't understand how Trump works or thinks. At this point, it's just willful blindness and ignorance of the left, driven by fear of being marginalized. Remember when, during the campaign, when Trump came up with what seemed like the wacky idea of having presidential debates in June? All the historians said it's never been done before. The strategists said don't do it. Trump bet that once the American people saw Joe Biden unfiltered, unscripted, the sitting president would be exposed for lacking the mental fitness to serve, and it would be clear the media and Democrats covered up his obvious decline for years. It was a bit of a risky bet, but Trump's instincts were right again.
I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Trump was saying out loud what all of us were thinking. It was the end of Joe Biden's career, and in that moment, Trump changed the entire trajectory of the campaign. Here's another example driving Democrats nuts: the tariff threats against Canada and Mexico. Democrats were going crazy over this, claiming he's damaging our economy and our relationships with key allies.
I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico. And we will really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
But did he really want tariffs on two of America's largest trading partners? Maybe, maybe not. Trump vowed to do something about both the border and the fentanyl crisis that is claiming more than 300 lives in this country every single day. The Biden administration couldn't have cared less about the chaos, the crime, and the death. They could have asked Canada and Mexico to step up operations on the border and work to interdict terror groups, cartels, and the flow of drugs. They didn't. Trump needed leverage, and he bet that the tariff threat would be enough to force a change in response from Mexico and Canada. He also knew that China wouldn't budge so easily, and he was right. This week, the president floated another one of his take me seriously, but perhaps not literally ideas, turning Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East.
I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
Boom. Instant universal condemnation of the plan. Does he care? No. Does he really want to turn Gaza into Tony shops and hotels and golf courses? Probably not. It's far more likely that the president was sending a bold message to all of the Arab countries who for decades wouldn't take Palestinian refugees that the status quo of allowing Iran and its proxy groups to terrorize Israel and the region is over. Gaza as the new Monaco is really about forcing other Arab nations to condemn Islamic terror and participate in a solution to the conflict that has plagued the region for decades. Either publicly or privately, I suspect that Trump will again get his way, engaging Arab nations in helping to chart a new course for Palestinians and the region that is more inclusive of Israel. President Reagan's speechwriter, Tony Dolan, I had an opportunity to spend some time with him this week, actually. He once recalled how forcefully the State Department would push back on the 40th president's bold and direct rhetoric. From calling the Soviet Union the evil empire to challenging Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down this wall, there were and are so many among the foreign policy cognoscenti, the media, and the Democratic Party in this country who are too timid to see threats for who and what they are, or lack the vision to offer bold solutions to chronic challenges that plague our goals of peace and freedom. They don't like Donald Trump's style because they don't want to get it. They don't want to be bold. But mark my words, what to them often seems crazy and dangerous yields results. Many of these same people who blast Trump's rhetoric are cut from the same cloth of those who abandoned Chiang Kai-shek to Mao Zedong and who claimed Reagan's "we win, they lose" posture toward the Soviets would get us into World War III. They were wrong then, and they are wrong now. Trump is sitting behind the Resolute desk again because he's been right far more often than he's been wrong. The historical record is increasingly clear that while his style makes the denizens of Washington and foreign capitals uncomfortable, his rhetoric is backed by deeper strategy. Trump's view of the American presidency as a force for change is driven not from behind the thick granite walls of government cloisters, but with rhetoric that challenges others in leadership to participate in transformative ideas. And it is poised to ensure we reclaim our role guiding the future of the free world.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.